Okay, hello, good evening, everyone. You're welcome to our Facebook Live. Follow me. I need to fix this. Yeah, you're welcome to our Facebook Live this evening, in which we will be discussing how to find your ready-to-wear, your niche in your ready-to-wear business. Yes, how to find your ideal niche in your ready-to-wear business. Okay, you're welcome. Please, as you come online, indicate so that I can know you are here. My name is Laoye Curtis. I am the founder of Fashion 6 Business School and CEO of House of Curtis. Fashion 6 Business School is an online MBA level business school that teaches fashionpreneurs how to grow their fashion businesses to be profitable and to be globally recognized. So you're welcome here, and I believe wonderful time together this evening. Yeah, this video being recorded will be uploaded on our YouTube channel for replays in the coming days. Okay, you're welcome to this class. As you come online, please indicate in the comments so I can identify your faces and we can get started in earnest. The niche building very critical component, without which you cannot hope to have a legacy over time, which is the reason I've decided that we're going to talk about that tonight. Yeah, ready-to-wear business is broad. In our last Facebook Live, which we held 7 days back, I talked about how to decide which ready-to-wear business to start, and I gave us different examples by which we could go in deciding what type of ready-to-wear business works for us. And if you recollect, I talked about fashion retailing as a direction you can follow. That's the type of ready-to-wear business. And I talked about clothing line, owning a clothing line as another type of ready-to-wear business you can go into. And I mentioned bulk garment production as the third major type of ready-to-wear business that you can venture into. I discussed the definitions of ready-to-wear, the different types, the definition of ready-to-wear, which means off-the-shelf clothing that customers can buy. And this includes not only clothing, because clothing are part of fashion. Shoes and bags and other types of fashion accessories are also in the ready-to-wear space. Okay, I can see Shedrack Azume here. Hey bro, it's good to have you here. Welcome to class. Thank you for joining us. Okay, I can see Olakito Zaina Bugundeji here too. Yeah, Olaiton, you're welcome. It's a pleasure having you, here live. Like I was saying, welcome to the class, and just settle down and enjoy the ride. Please, if you can, get your notes and pen beside you so that you can take down, points that I'll be sharing with us. Okay. Precious Eric Para, you are here again today. Thank you so much for coming on board. I appreciate you here. Your presence here is a big support to you guys, and I appreciate you guys. So while I'm having this class with us, I'm actually approving people's request to join the group, on my second time, so you guys will balance the two together. Okay, like I was saying earlier, we already talked about the type of ready-to-wear business you can venture into as a fashion entrepreneur. And I'll recap. I mentioned 3 types, the first of them being fashion retailing, the second being clothing line, the third being bulk garment production. And last week I explained in detail about each of them. You go into fashion retailing because you want to retail, sell, market and sell designs, ready-to-wear designs that are already made by other designers, and you can start off your career in ready-to-wear on that score. And as you sell, you can decide over time to expand. By expanding, I mean expanding into into owning your own clothing line which you carry in your store at the same time. Then I talked about you owning a clothing line and the things that it takes to own a clothing line. If you recollect, I mentioned a lot of things, that clothing line is what many people are familiar with when it comes to ready to wear. When you hear, oh, I'm into ready to wear, the thought in the minds of people is they are making clothes. But then most people don't understand that it's not just making clothes, it's clothing line, And when we say clothing is beyond is beyond fabric. It includes accessories that complement, outfits that we wear, as it were. So, guys, and I mentioned about garment factory, right? We go garment production. That is, if you have an invested interest in having a production team, in a warehouse with a lot of people who are working for you as tailors, joiners they call them, or machinists that they call them, and they sew clothes on your behalf for designers who outsource their production to you. Those are the three that we covered. Okay, so just give me a second, please. Let me add everybody that's been applying to join us. Okay, so I can see some wonderful folks here who have I've added people so I can focus on the screen right now. Okay, Toyin Gift, you're welcome. Glory Chinedu Mokocha, you're welcome. Wow. Moya Musa, you're welcome. You were my content curator last week, helping to fill in the comment section with the highlights of what I was saying. Okay, good. So you guys, I think you have my undivided attention right now. Those that are not yet added to the group, they can watch the replay. So let's get it started. Today we are building on what we learned last week, and today we'll be talking about how to find your niche in ready-to-wear business. Now, by this, I would start off by saying having a niche for yourself in the ready-to-wear business simply means you are creating a name for yourself in the fashion industry, in the apparel sector, that all other people in the industry will be looking up to. That is, you want to own a space in the apparel sector, especially in the ready-to-wear space, so that when they mention that kind of apparel, that kind of ready-to-wear, your brand's name is the first thing that comes to mind, or your name as the founder of the brand is the first thing that comes to mind when people think about that particular type of ready-to-wear. So, for instance, let me give us a few examples. If you are looking for cheap, affordable clothing in Lagos, you can go to Mr. Price, and the best of them is Pep store. I mean, when you get there, you will always get affordable clothing that meets your budget, so to speak. Now, when it comes to affordable phones, you can talk about Infinix, you can talk about Techno, and the likes in Nigeria. Whereas when you talk about exclusive phones, the phones that are for the creme de la creme, then you're talking about Apple. Apple leads the pack, followed by Samsung. That tells you that in the phone market itself, in the phone industry, there are different niches that have been carved. When you think about affordable phones, you would always think about Techno and Infinix in Nigeria. When you think about expensive phones, the first that comes to your mind is Apple, followed by... Why is it like that? They have all carved a niche for themselves. And if you look closely, no matter how well done a Techno phone is, no matter the technology that is in a Techno phone, it can never command the price of an Apple phone, of an iPhone, iPad, and the likes. Why? Because the branding that has gone into Techno phones targeted at letting people know that we are the affordable option on the market. So they sell to a lot of people, so they sell on volume. But iPhone, as it were, for iPhone, it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game for iPhones, Why? Reason is that they have positioned themselves as the exclusive, phone that you can get on the market. Samsung is giving them a run for their money, but iPhone is still leading the pack. So that's how niche building kind of works, or carving a niche kind of works, in other industries. For us, when it comes to electronics, right, in the Nigerian space, you would always pick Samsung first, then LG second. The two of them are competing for space, in the Nigerian market space, But on the global scale, well, the dynamics change based on different regions of the world. Now, niche building, it's the same as branding, as it were. When we talk about niche building, we are talking about branding, the perception you want to give to people about your brand, about your business. When people are thinking about a particular type or that a particular type of company, organization that sells, your name should be top on the list. So you guys are welcome. I can see Ogoro, Joy, Jiro, Egbetola, Lushola, and Folusho Titoju, Christy Obudu, and Glory Chidedum. You guys are welcome. Thank you for joining us here. So I've just done a quick introduction into what niche building looks like in the real world. I've cited the examples of cheap, affordable clothing in terms of clothing lines, fashion retailing stores like Pep, Mr. Price. And if you're looking at luxury African print, ready to wear prints, you are talking about rough and tumble. When it comes to those for young people, teenagers and young children, then you are talking about rough and tumble in the Nigerian space, right? Receive novel rich, fashion for the rich, so to speak. Then you have a brand like Alara in Victoria Island. You are talking about a brand like Tiffany Amber. Those are targeted at the high class, Maya Tafo and the likes. They are targeted at the the middle class, the upper middle class, the elite. So that is how niche building has come to play. And I said it's similar to branding because niche building is actually brand building, and carving a space for yourself in an industry, I've cited an example in the telephone markets, right, in the mobile phone markets, and I talked about Tecno and Infinix on one end of the spectrum, and Samsung and Apple on the other end of the spectrum. Each category, they are dealing with different target audiences. So you can see how this plays out in the automobile industry. When we talk about niche building, when you look at expensive luxury cars, then Mercedes is top of the list. Mercedes, they are top of the list. And when you talk about affordable, long-lasting vehicles, that are durable and are easy to fix. Then you are talking about Toyota and Honda. They lead the pack in the Nigerian space. Why? Because they have carved a niche for themselves as the choice automobile for the third world country, so to speak, or for the lower income bracket or middle income bracket of people, so to speak, right? So these are just examples of how niche building has come to play. Now, when it comes to ready to wear as a business which you are dreaming of, or you are aspiring to, or you're already in the act of setting up or running, as it were, you need to factor in niche building. So I'll break it down for us how this plays, so that when you make your decisions, they can be right decisions that will not hamper your growth in the future. Okay, so I'll be speaking along the lines of what niche what niche is, in the fashion industry, in the apparel sector, ready to wear space, in the ready to wear space of the apparel sector. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, fine. If you want to run a successful, profitable, ready to wear business, you must be known for a particular type of ready to wear. I'll recap. If you want to run a profitable and successful ready to wear brand or ready to wear business, you must be known for a specific type of ready to wear. Your brand name must be associated with a specific type of ready to wear, and you must build a strong customer base around that chosen type of ready to wear that you're into. Let me cite an instance. If you are setting up a clothing line, you should not try to start with different types of wears when it comes to running a clothing line, starting a clothing line. For instance, you want to start your ready to wear clothing line, and you want to be doing children's wear and women's wear at the same time. It can backfire. You may not be able to undo the dynamics of bringing your idea, your designs to the table, and producing them and then selling them. The marketing that goes into selling children's wear, the kind of copy, that is ad copy, that is the written text, or the video ads that you run to promote your children's wear, collection, may not necessarily be the same as the ad copy you generate for an adult wear, for women, for example. And this will burn your energy. Your focus will be diverted. Your attention will not be narrowed down in a direction that can give you optimum results, while you're chasing after mothers or fathers for your children's wear, after women, maybe office career ladies, for your women's wear. At the end of the day, you will burn more energy than you can replenish. Okay, I would say Adeyinka Bukola, you're welcome to class. Mazino, you're welcome. It's a pleasure having you here. Thank you for making our time to be here tonight. Okay, so like I was saying, you need to be known for a particular area, a particular type of ready to wear that you're stepping into, so that when your name is mentioned or your brand's name is mentioned, it will alight a thought in people's mind that, oh, she is the specialist in this type of ready to wear. And I've given us a quick counsel. Don't start your ready to wear clothing line, for example, or ready to wear fashion retail store selling different types of ready to wear. You should fix your mind on starting with one and scaling it up. When you start with one, build a solid customer base around it. Then when you have sold and made profit over and over again, I didn't say make profit one time, I said make profit over and over again, such that you can close your eyes and educate a newcomer on how to start your type of clothing line and succeed at it, then you are qualified to expand your business. And when you expand, that means you can now take on another area of ready-to-wear, another type of ready-to-wear, clothing that you add to your existing business. And the current customer base that you have, they are the ones you will launch your new ready-to-wear collection for your new niche. They are the ones you launch with, so that you can quickly recover your investment in the new line. And already you would have cemented in their minds a reputation that they know you by. Okay, everything I've been saying so far may sound like gibberish, but I think I'll break it down here. I'm trying to be as civil as possible rather than jumping all over the screen, and I'm still trying to get into my groove. Okay, now let me quickly explain my own understanding of niche building. I held a live webinar, a Facebook live webinar yesterday, in which I talked about how to earn a steady stream of 6 figures monthly in your fashion business. Now, today, I want to build on what I said yesterday about niche building. In that Facebook Live, I did a comparison and a differentiation between niche building and specialization, because many people tend to mix the two up. When you hear the term, I'm carving a niche in children's wear, suddenly people think you are the specialist in children's wear and that is all that you do. No. When it comes to niche building, right, the rule is two-faced, so to speak here. The first part of having a niche, rather. I'll break it down, Messi. Yeah, I'll break it down. There's a lot in my head and I'm trying to parcel them, so that I can be coherent in my delivery. Now, when you are a specialist, it means that you understand the technicalities involved in your particular area, the chosen area you have decided to specialize in. A specialist in undercars will understand everything about undercars, from their history to the design process to the manufacturing to the repairs, such that when you mention undercars, they can break it down to you in nitty-gritty. Tell them to tell you about Volvo cars and they don't know jack. But the two are cars. They are, cars, 4-wheel drives. However, because one has chosen to be a specialist in one brand, they may not necessarily understand everything about another brand. And just as the engines in a Toyota will not be the same as the engine in a Ford, car, so is specialization. You can have general knowledge of automobiles, but have a specialized knowledge about one type of automobile, such that anytime anyone needs service for that particular type of automobile you specialize in, your name comes forward. In fashion, the same thing applies. You can decide to be a specialist in women's clothing, and even at that, you may decide to be a specialist in a particular type of women's clothing. You may decide that you want to be a specialist in evening dresses. That is one area of women's clothing. You may decide that you want to be a specialist in party wears, Owambe wears. That area of women's clothing. You may decide that you want to be a specialist in women's shirts and tops, and you will know everything about that area you have chosen, to the exclusion of other parts. That is what specialization is. However, When you want to carve a niche, then you are leaving the realm of specialization, of skill sets, of technical know-how. You are now moving into the business end of being a specialist. That is when niche building comes in. I hope I'm making sense with this illustration I'm giving, because I'm trying to paint a picture that we can be that can be consistent with the discussion, that is consistent rather with the discussion, and helps you to understand clearly. When you're a specialist, you have chosen a particular type of fashion designing to specialize in, a particular type of ready to wear to specialize in. However, when it comes to now carving a niche, then there's a complete difference. Carving a niche now means you go over and beyond being a specialist to being a successful entrepreneur in your chosen area of specialization. That is what niche building does. Now, when it comes to niche building, right, I said an element of niche building includes being a specialist. Really, it includes that. That is a given. However, it means that you must be a specialist with sense. You are not just a specialist, you are a specialist that understands business. You can be a specialist and not understand business. Imagine a Nigerian designer that decides to be a specialist in prom dresses, in dinner dresses. What do you think will happen to that person's finances in this COVID-19 period? Everybody is under lockdown. We are all at home. Churches are not functioning. Parties are not what? Parties are not going on. A specialist in prom dresses and evening wears will be suffering financial lack mostly right now. Sales will be at the lowest right now. Whereas the specialist in face mask is having a field day. Once the lockdown ends and we move back into, and everything goes back to normal, to the new normal, the specialist in face mask production will be out of business. Whereas the specialist in dinner gowns can now hope for return of business if they have not gone bankrupt. This is why being a specialist should not blindfold us, should not make us lose sense of the business end of being a specialist, which is where niche building now comes to play. So please, since I've given us these examples, right, let's now go to what niche building now really is. You are a specialist, yeah, but you are a specialist in a type of fashion that there is a ready market for. That's the way I would explain it. I am not an academic type, so I'm not going to be giving you a definition that will break my teeth or that would scatter my head. I would explain things to you so you can understand. So, like I was saying, when it comes to carving a niche, then you are now in the business of specialization. Yes, you are now in the business of specialization. Please, somebody help me put it in the comment section so I can extract later. Now, the business aspect of being a specialist is when niche building comes in. And the conditions for you to own a niche or carve a niche, the conditions are simple. You must, number one, you must be able to produce that type of fashion effortlessly. You must be able to, create designs effortlessly. You must be able to, you must enjoy it. You must be someone who enjoys what you're doing to the point that you don't need money. You don't need to be paid for you to enjoy doing what you love. Oh, you may like working with leather and coming up with different designs of sandals, and decide that you want to carve a niche for yourself in the sandal making sector of footwear. Can you see that? Or you may decide like, oh, I love making skirts. There is no day I don't get an idea when it comes to making skirts. And you decide that you want to be a specialist in making skirts, all types of skirts, such that until every woman buys your skirt, one of your skirts, they don't have a complete wardrobe. That is being a specialist. Now, how do we know that you can now carve a niche area of specialization? Here are the conditions. Number one, you must enjoy coming up with designs for that chosen area of specialization. You must love it to the bottom of your heart. You must find pleasure. You see the way I'm talking, right? I'm finding pleasure. See the way I'm dramatizing. I'm enjoying myself talking. So I've carved a niche in talking about ready to wear. I've carved a niche in talking about fashion business, the business of fashion. Whereas somebody has carved a niche talking about productivity. Somebody has carved a niche talking about relationship. Me, I have carved a niche talking about the business of fashion. So when you have chosen an area of specialization in terms of the kind of fashion that you want to venture into, you want to be known for, then you move to the next phase of carving a niche for it. And the conditions that will prove that you can carve a niche, I'm repeating like a teacher who is taking a kindergarten class, so that by repetition it will stick in our minds. Guys, you must first enjoy doing that thing creatively. You must enjoy it. Good. Having said that, sorry, I had a flash on my phone there. Yeah, the second condition, right? The second condition is that there must be a big market. By big market, I mean human beings, real human beings who are in need of that kind of fashion that you specialize in. I hope you get that drift. Please, you can help me in the comment section, by quoting some of these highlights I'm making. You're a specialist, right? Good. Then we are saying you must enjoy coming up with creative designs, right? Of that kind of fashion that you have chosen as to specialize in. And I said number two, that you must have found that there is a big enough market for you. Otherwise, you will be a short-term success. So there is a need to ensure that there is a large population of people. There must be a large population of people within your immediate environment, right? Who need what you are specializing in, and they will gladly buy from you. You need them. And then number three, you need to identify that, I mentioned number one, that there's you have interest in it. Number two, I said there's a large market for it. Yes, those are the two core points. Don't mind me. My phone is acting up and it's telling me that there isn't enough space, and I don't want this whole video to just crash on me. Okay, so thank you, Mazino. You pointed number one, you must enjoy designing for your chosen niche. Number two is that there must be a large market who you can serve. If you don't have a large market that you can serve, you don't have a niche. What you have is an area of specialization. That is the point I'm trying to make, this whole time, right? So, in case you have been known for a particular type of ready-to-wear, particular type of fashion rather, but there isn't a big enough market, that is, large number of people who are willing to pay for the services, then you don't have a niche. You can't build a niche. What you can do is what? Be a specialist who is called upon from time to time, right? To do what? To offer their skills, and you are paid. Otherwise, if you step into that space and you start creating ready-to-wear collections, my dear, you will be a short-term success. And by this I mean you will sell, and you will sell until there is nobody else to buy again, and no future. There's no future in that. So there has to be a big enough market. That is the condition for carving a niche. So you need to check yourself. If you have chosen a particular type of fashion to specialize in, that there isn't high demand for that kind of fashion, you are a bomb waiting to go off. You are a powder keg waiting for an ignition to blow. And you are not blowing big, you are blowing out. So please, that is the condition for carving a niche. Since I mentioned that, then I think we can move on. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comments. I'm very grateful to you guys. Adeyinka Bukola, Moya Musa, Folusho Otitoju, Mazino, you guys helping me out with the highlights of what I've been saying, in the comments. I really appreciate you guys. Leko Unique, you're welcome. I can see you live. Eunice Ujagbe, you're welcome. Abiodun Witi Adeyanju, you're welcome. Karim Adeyemi Latifa, you're welcome. Patience Lubaki, you're welcome. Queen Oketa, Deborah Abaton, you are welcome. Messi Majek, you're welcome. Lajimoke Akinsoya and Alima Abakiari, you're welcome. Guys, thank you for making our time to be here tonight. I hope you're enjoying this session with me. Okay, so far I have defined, right? I've defined what it is to carve a niche. I have defined niche building with real life examples, and I have explained what specialization is, how to be a specialist, and I have explained the conditions for carving a niche. And I'm sure with this information you can make informed decision of what niche to select. So in case you've been fantasizing, this is the time to come back to health, right? If you can dream it, you can achieve it, yes, and you can achieve failure eventually if you choose the wrong niche. The fashion industry is so wide, is so big that you can succeed. However, you have to be wise in your choice of the areas to specialize in so that your success can be, visible to all. Enuma Glory and Abimbola Dada, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on board. I appreciate you guys coming in. It's a wonderful time we're having together tonight. Okay, so that said, I want to explain one other thing about niche. There are two types of niche that you can build. So please, let's build on it again. I've explained the conditions for you to carve a niche or to own a niche. I've given us examples of niches, right, in different industries to help us understand how it plays. I've explained the difference between specialization and owning a niche or carving a niche. Now let's talk about types of niche. There are two types of niche that you can build, or niches that you can build. There are two types. Yeah, I'll come to them very soon. Okay, I can see some new people coming out. Kigbo Olawumi Bolatito, you were here yesterday, and Adiza, you guys are welcome. Thank you for coming on board. I appreciate you guys. There are two types of niches that you can build. There's one I called major niche, and there's another I call minor niche. Major niche, minor niche. I'll explain. Let me use an example, like a metaphor, to explain what I mean by major niche and minor niche. When you get admission to higher institution, right? There are you will be given the option of a course of study that you register for which you are given the admission. And once you have, you've gotten the admission and you are in school, at a point in your course of study, perhaps 300 level, in a 400 level, with a 4-year course, or maybe 300 level, or maybe usually it's 300 levels. Anyways, in most schools, you are now required to specialize in one area, which you will call your major. So you're studying chemistry, and in your 3rd year, you are told to now pick an area of chemistry that you want to specialize in. Then you can decide, you want to go into industrial chemistry. That is the chemistry that's related to industry, industrial chemistry. Now you guys come up with chemicals, you analyze chemicals, you come up with different types of chemicals and what have you. I'm not a chemist, so let me know by start. That is the sector I don't understand well, but I know there's a major called industrial chemist. I know industrial chemistry, and I know there's another major that is called applied chemistry. Yeah, and there is another one I know they call pure chemistry. So you are required to select one of these different specializations on the chemistry that you can focus on. Whichever one you pick becomes your major. That means you will learn a lot more. You'll be registered for more courses in that area. Then you would be required to have a minor, which is not always compulsory in the Nigerian space. But I remember, abroad, especially in the US, when I used to apply to their universities back in the day, in the late 90s and early 2000s, when, would write letters and request for their brochure. I used to read a lot about their majors and minors. So you can have a major in industrial chemistry while you are a minor in applied chemistry. It means that for every 10 courses that you do, 7 will be related to industrial chemistry, while 3 are related to applied chemistry. I studied mathematics science in school. I remember back then in a lag, I specialized in statistics. Yes. So playing with numbers. That was the major that I picked. Whereas I minored in pure mathematics. Yes, where we do algebra. Yeah, algebra and the likes. I didn't go for industrial mathematics, and I didn't go for applied mathematics, because applied mathematics had to do with mechanics. All those integration and differentiation, those things can be killing. So I ran away from them. But algebra, abstract mathematics, proving that 1 + 1 is equal to 1. What's the square root of -1? I enjoy those kind of abstract kind of mathematics. A balanced the practical type of mathematics in which you are analyzing figures, analyzing numbers, as it were. Yes, so great Akokite. Yes, greatest Akokite here. Thank you, Olawumi. Okay, so like I was explaining, right? When you select a niche, right? When you select a niche, what that means is that you have a major area and a minor area. So in your ready-to-wear business, you can pick a type of fashion that you have selected as your major, whereas there's another type of fashion that you have selected as your minor. So the major right? The difference between the major and the minor is simply this. The major the major niche means that you have a potential to make more money in that fashion, that chosen area of fashion. The minor niche simply means that you have a bigger potential to become more famous than to make more money. I hope you get the difference. This is as a result of experience I've gathered working with a few successful fashion designers in the ready-to-wear space. So guys, I'm back in the fashion space. I was first lost in the, how do you call that? The nostalgia of university days. Yeah. So I'm back in the fashion space. Like I said, major niche means you have a potential to make more money in that line of fashion. Thank you, Monyamusa, for quoting that. Whereas your minor niche, right, means you have a potential to become more famous in that line of fashion. Now, you need both fame and money to thrive in the fashion industry, because the industry is a contact industry. It means you must come into contact with people, and also it means that it's also an industry that is vain. Vanity is part of fashion. You cannot divorce that from fashion. Everybody wants to be the center of attraction, the signature of all eyes, the main person, the man of the moment, woman of the moment. We all want to stand out, and our dressing is a very critical part of being able to stand out. That is natural. So, like I said, we need both fame and money to thrive in the fashion industry. Fame will help you to be known far and wide, so that promise that is in the Bible, which I remember, says that if you see a diligent man or woman at their work, one day they will stand before kings, not ordinary people. So as you are, please be diligent at your work, and you are building fame, a name for yourself. Over time, your name will spread far and wide and begin to attract those money bags, those people who can afford the pricing that will make you very fulfilled, very happy. Now, part of the price points that will make me happy is having coaching clients that pay me 400k per coaching session. That is part of the happy price that I'm working on. Presently, I'm doing those that are paying 100k, those that are doing 45k, but I'm going higher. We'll get there, So, but we have to be diligent at what we're doing right now, which is part of why we are doing this. Yesterday, there was a Facebook Live webinar, on how to earn 6 figures in fashion. Today, I'm doing on ready to wear. On Sunday, I'll be talking another Facebook Live for fashion CEOs who already have structure, who already have staff, and semblance of structure to run their business, but they want to scale higher. Can you see? I'm serving different audiences. Now, I'm trying to be diligent at what I do so I can stand before kings. So you too, you have to stand before kings, and part of that is your name going far and wide, which is what fame is all about. So most of the time, the minor niche that you select usually gets you known more because of the signature designs you come up with. For instance, if you choose wedding gowns as a minor niche, wow, that would be super awesome, because wedding gowns and dinner wears, they give opportunity to express your creativity at its best, and you can always create a wow experience with those. But then, how many weddings do you have? How many weddings are high-class weddings that you can connect and get contracts to sew their bridal wears or the groom's wear? How many? It's a competitive landscape. But if you choose that as a minor niche, it means that occasionally you're getting jobs. And if you want to make it a major niche, well, then you have to be playing big in the event planning space. But then that's discussion for another day. However, office wear, clothing to wear to the office is a wonderful major niche area because there is always daily demand for office wear. Now look at me, for instance, right? I'm here before you. I could as well sit in front of you, wearing just about anything. I could be in my boxers and singlets, but here I'm dressed, capped up, looking fine, just so I can look presentable with a wonderful background, so to speak, and so we can have a wonderful experience together. Do you know that many people in the corporate world that are working from home, when they are having management meeting on Zoom, they have to wear their suit jackets, even if they are wearing boxers underneath. They have to look the part when they are having board meeting over video conferencing using Zoom app, for instance. I mean, that means that if you are into the office wear space, you will still be thriving in this new normal. Because people still need to sit in front of a phone camera, having a live meeting with people, and look the part so they can be convincing. So you can see, office wear designs that you come up with may not get you, the rise, the popularity, the paparazzi view and the likes. No, but it will definitely fetch you more money. Whereas, I'm looking handsome. Thank you, patience. Thanks for the compliment. See me blush here. Thanks. But back to what I was saying. But a wedding gown can help you to make a statement and a splash. Do you guys remember the experience of Ebuka Obi Chinwendu, right? The presenter for Big Brother Nigeria, the Big Brother Nigeria show. I remember 2 years back, it must be 2 years back, I think 2018, when he crashed, so to speak, it crashed the Banky W's wedding in terms of popularity. Banky W was the celebrity who was getting married. He was the star of the moment. But on his wedding day or introduction day, his traditional wedding and introduction day, it was Ebuka, a married man, that stole the show and trended on social media. How did he do it? He's a designer. What's that guy's name again? Ugomonye is designer. Came up with a wonderful design of Agbada, that sat well on Ebuka. And when he walked into the venue of the event, he stole the show. Literally stole the show. And because of him, social media went, abuzz. We're just buzzing with the story of Ebuka, crashing Banky W's wedding, and everybody wanted to know who the designer was that made Ebuka's outfit. And it turned out to be Ugomonye, a young man that is doing well in his business with about 6,000 followers before the wedding day. And in one weekend, Ugomonye shot up to 30,000 followers because of, the splash he created for Ebuka at Banky W's wedding. Now, that is the power of having a minor niche like that in terms of, Owambe wears for wedding parties, as it were. Whereas, there is a bigger market. Other things that Ugomonye does, not just the Agbada, which he now gets more jobs for. I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to clearly point to us the differences between major niche and minor niche. Minor niche can help you to get known faster. It can help you to make a splash, It can help you to make a statement. It can help you to trend. But it may not bring you consistent sales. Whereas the major niche fetches you more money. So you need the fame from your minor niche, right? to attract customers for your major niche. I rest my case. That is all I've been trying to explain to you. Thank you. So Owambe wears here for wedding parties. We also bring film, definitely. Now look at Owambe wears. They are under siege right now because of COVID-19 and lockdowns. Okay, so that said, I've explained to us major niche and minor niche. Wow, and we spent an hour already. Okay, beautiful. Now the deal is this: how do we decide what niche to go into? How do you determine the niche you should specialize in, you should pick? Well, I've given us the conditions to determine the kind of whether the specialization you have can become a niche. That same condition, or those same conditions rather, they also come to play again when you have to determine what niche to go into. So when you want to determine your niche that you would go into, please, I want you to plan along the line of major niche and minor niche. So you could write on your notepad before you your brand's name, and you write major niche. So if your brand, so if somebody give me a brand name in the comment section, so that I can use that as an example and just play around with it. So somebody can try out like, okay, my brand name, my major niche, and my minor niche. I would like us to try that out, so I can use that to, to give an illustration, so to speak, right? So, okay, but while I wait, your commentary in the comment section, let me just point a few things out to us. When you want to select your niche, right? Okay, Gilrose Satorio. Olajumoke Akinsonya, please send me a chat on WhatsApp. On my 9 mobile WhatsApp. You made some payment recently and you did not chat me up about it so that I can add you to the version 6 basic program. Please remind me after this class. Thank you. Okay, House of Adia, Gilrose Satorio. These are brands which are going into ready to wear, and in this case we are talking about clothing line, because I'm familiar with these personalities. So you are coming up with a clothing line, right? And we are now like, okay, we want to select your major niche and your minor niche, which will now help you to build fame as well as to make sales. Now, because minor niche gets you more opportunities to become famous, to make a splash, does not mean that the major niche doesn't or can't make you famous. It will make you famous also in the long term. However, I just needed to also understand how these things play, so that if your goal is to become famous, you better focus on your minor niche and then enjoy the bouts of being broke, financial brokenness from time to time. Or if you really want to get started with your feet firmly on the ground, then you pick on your major niche and go for the money. Boom, just like that, and then use the minor niche to spice it up. So I could have somebody who is into a major niche, which is plus size women's wear, because there's a big market for plus size women. Okay, fine. I have here Messi Majek. Thank you. Messi Majek has a brand name called Apelia Stitches. Our major niche is kiddies wear, whereas our minor niche is office wear. Lovely. It is lovely. It simply means that she knows that she can make a lot. She has the potential to make more money with kiddies wear faster than she will with office wear. That doesn't mean that for somebody else, their major niche cannot be office wear. So we need to have that balance, as it were. I like this that you brought up. So it's lovely. So, but then both of them, right, can blow big. And when they blow big, they become 2 major niches that you have. As simple as that. Lovely. So we can have somebody who has a brand, has a major niche in plus size women's wear, and a minor niche, right, is in throw pillows. It can go any way that you want it. Though I would appreciate in the comment section if you can give us your brand name, your major niche, and your minor niche. Now, having said that, okay, for you to really determine which kind of niche that you will pick, this is where it's getting more interesting. Okay, we're at 8:02. I'm stopping at 8:30, so it will be 1.5 hours, that would have spent together. Okay, so let me break it down for us, because there's a dynamics to determining the niche that you want to go into. Yeah, I give us an exercise, right, to tell me your brand name, your major niche and minor niche, which is great. That's to create engagement in our conversation along the line of what we have learned so far. However, we want to take it a step further. We want to go deeper now. When it comes to niches, examples of niches that you can, consider pursuing. Now, I need us to please clarify on this call. This niche building discussion we're talking about, I have narrowed it down to those in the clothing line type of fashion business, as well as those in the fashion retailing business. So if you're into fashion retailing, we already understand that you do not create designs. You do not sell designs. You don't create designs, rather. You don't own a clothing line. Instead, you stock other people's designs and you sell and you make your profit. In this case, it is advisable that you start with a major niche also. Start with a major niche and build a solid customer base around that niche, because that's what makes niche building work. You have to have a big customer base, a steady customer base. You have to be profitable in that space, that type of fashion that you've chosen. Now, when you have a major niche, right, the beautiful thing about it is that you can focus all your energies into targeting a particular audience, target market, and sell out and be profitable. And with the profits that you generate, you now expand your market. When it comes to expanding, please guys, I would like you to take a leap from what I'm about to say. Don't just pick a niche that does not flow with your existing best niche. For example, your major niche is women's wear, your minor niche is men's wear. That may be a challenge when it comes to time to expand, because when you are about to expand to men's wear as your next niche that you want to pick on, you will need to start from scratch, going after men as customers. You may be tempted to pay less attention to your existing customer base of women, and as a result of that, you get into trouble. Okay, somebody is asking me, where do fashion schools come into niche choice? Well, this conversation is about ready to wear and not fashion trainers, so I won't be able to answer that. When we have a topic related to fashion school owners and how they can carve a niche, then we would have the conversation, because niche building cuts across all industry. But for now, the focus is on ready to wear. So which means the niche that we are focusing on tonight is what? Ready to wear business, not bespoke tailoring business, not fashion manufacturing, equipment manufacturing business, not even fashion training business. Good. So let's get back to the matter at hand. So like I was saying, guys, I was going to give us examples of ready to wear that you can pick a niche around. So I'm going to start like this. When it comes to types of fashion that we make, right? Either as clothing Well, it's clothing anyways. All of them are clothing. So either as outfits, garments, or fashion accessories, sunglasses, all the fashionable curves and what have you, cufflinks, ties, and what have you, shoes, sandals, and the likes. All of them are clothing, whether it is footwear, whether it's garments, and whether it's adornments, right? All of them, they are together, and they are called clothing. So, when it comes to you now deciding which type of fashion, right, to pick as a niche in this ready to wear space. Well, what I can say is this: you need to understand how fashions are created.